presentation. Yes, yeah, feel free. But I don't know if this is the one we travel with all the time, so I don't know what happened to it, but it's been damaged somehow. This is the ThermoLink. It's our new device. This is actually just a prototype. It's not for sale yet. But this is the one that has the improvements with the Blackwell method, applied to freeze equation. And the needles are the same, and so it functions basically the same. And so I'll just briefly run through real quick how this works. So you just turn on the device. The menus are different, but they basically operate the same way. This needle is named the KS1, and so we can see that the KS1 is listed there. If you unplug it, it'll just go blank. So it knows which needle you have in there, so you know. It comes with, there's 4 available needles. There's the KS1, this is the TR1, and both of these needles work the same way, where there's a heater and a thermistor here in the middle of the needle. And it's measuring, so we know how much heat is going into the heater, and then the thermistor is measuring the heat as it dissipates away from the needle. So those function the same way. And then this one is specifically for hard materials, rock and concrete. And so it's a little bit thicker because it works best with for the rotohammer. This is the smallest drill bit, so we made a needle to that thickness, making it as thin as we could. But again, so that you can use the drill bit to do that. And then this is our, what we call the SH1 dual needle sensor. And this is for, so all 3 of these measure thermal conductivity, resistivity. This one will give you your specific heat or heat capacity. And so it's got a needle, the needle here has the heater and this one has the thermistor. And instead of measuring the temperature as it goes away from the needle, it's measuring the temperature as the heat transfers from across the needles. Okay. So for this test, we'll just do a basic thermal conductivity. I'll show you the menu real quick. So even though it's set up from the last test. So in this model, we have a mode where there's insulation, surface sensor, that's the prototype sensor, that's a thin film sensor. Soil, your ASTM or IEEE standards for soil measurements, liquids, and then we're just using the generic conductivity. And so the settings are all set to their default. This is, again, the KS1 needle. We're going to use a low power mode with a 1-minute read time. And it's going to give us our conductivity units in watts or meter Kelvin. We can change that to BTUs if that's what you're more accustomed to, but we'll read in watts or meter Kelvin. And then we'll just go to measure, and that gives us our measurement screen. And so all you need to do is take the needle. We'll try it in the orange this time and see what we get. Last time we read the green gel, and it was 0.0358. So you just want to make sure that the needle is inserted all the way to the head of the needle, and if it's a really soft material and the needle can move around, you want to make sure that it's stabilized so that it doesn't create any contact resistance or pockets of air in there. And there are some air pockets. There is some air in the material just in general, so we'll see how the reading goes. Once we hit start reading, just hit enter in the middle. It displays our temperature, and you can see it's changing a little bit compared to the needle. So that's the temperature of the gel, and it's going to go through equilibration time of 15 to 30 seconds, depending on how much it thinks it needs to compensate for that temperature drift in the gel. And then it'll start the reading, and it'll read heating, and you'll see the progression of the heating.
Can we use this equipment in powder sample?
Yeah, yeah. You can use it. You can really use it in anything that you can insert the needle into, as long as there's no contact resistance. So if it's a very porous material, we supply Arctic Silver. It's just a thermal paste. And you put that on the needle to help compensate for some of the air pockets that are around the needle, and so that way the because this has a relatively low and a constant, consistent thermal conductivity, it's going to allow the air pockets to really not be a factor. But yeah, we've got people that will put them into nanofluids and nanoparticles and just powders in general. Definitely. So one of the things that makes this work a little bit quicker than this unit is that it's just taking the heating and it's not measuring the cooling, where this one heats and cools. So this one, using the Blackwell method, is making predictions and equating a lot more behind the scenes, and the computer's doing a lot more work to give you a quicker measurement.
Have you got any comparison results about the other thermal conductivity measurements?
Right. Yeah, we do with the needles. So the needles have been around for over 10 years now. And so we've done comparisons to make sure that they're reading, and we also do
Have you got
calibrations.
any result?
Not on me, no. I do have the specs for the needles. I only have a few of these left, but all the information's on. So like I said, we're changing the name, but all the thermal information is at decagon.com. But you can take one of those if you'd like. There's a few left. You can pass them around if you'd like one of those. Anybody else? Yeah. And then just also, not specific to this device, but if anybody's interested, we have a thermal conversion chart. So just some people like to have that if you'd like one. Okay, yeah.
What is the measurement error for low conductivity?
To be honest, we haven't determined that for the new device. And this one's going to have a broader range. It's going to, it's quicker and it computes better. This one, it should be listed on here, in here somewhere, the error for each needle.
10%.
Yeah. I think it's a percentage in the lower range, and then in the higher range, it's a decimal point. There's more details on the website with that information. And we have a couple.
So you say when it phase change, the conductivity spikes.
Well, it's not really the conductivity that's spiking. It's an apparent conductivity.
Oh, okay.
So it's being that way. It appears that way, but it's. We don't know why it does that in the gel, but Galen Campbell, Dr. Galen Campbell, who's a soil physicist that developed this equipment, that happens in soils that are wet and where the moisture is frozen and then thaws, and that all has to do with the way that the pore distribution sizes of the soil are changing at the same time, and so there's less soil available, so the conductivity, or there's less moisture available as the phase change happens, and vapor distribution and things like that. So in soils or in porous materials where there's moisture, there's lots of other factors where the conductivity actually does spike. And he's plotted that out, and he's got a paper that's from the 70s that explains that. So it's something that he's known about for a while. With this material, he's not sure why it shows that spike on there, and he just I asked him about that, and so we went back and looked at his data from this testing, and he has explained that he doesn't really understand why it's happening where this isn't a porous material, and yeah, we don't have an explanation. So we just kind of rule out the spike and measure this, eliminate that, measure the slope from the frozen to the thawed. Yeah, right. Yeah.
So how does it cool? I'm just curious. Well, how does the needle cool?
It's not, no, sorry, so the needle itself isn't cooling, but it takes we just call it the cooling phase. So it's just as the heat is turned off and the heat is dissipating away from the needle, we just call that the cooling phase of the test.
When you measure something, so I have to freeze it first if it's needle.
Yeah, if you're wanting to run through the phase change, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Şimdi şeye şahit oldum. Bunların her bir sensörün kalibrasyon maddesi var. Ondan kalibre edip ondan sonra ölçüyorsunuz. Yani öyle bilinmeyen bir değer ölçüp de relatif bir değer ölçmüyor. Yani burada her birinin kalibrasyon şeyi var. Materyali var. Sıvılar için gliserin var.
Or like in this one, we're
Böyle tahmin ettik mi zaten söyledim.
Onu oradan kalibre edip başladığı için ölçtüğü değer gerçek değer oluyor. Yani relatif bir değer değil.
this one will work with just a glycerol instead of having all the. We'll eliminate that one.
Tabii hangi neyi ölçecekseniz yani her iğnenin, her şeyin, yani sensörün ayrı bir kalibrasyon şeyi var, maddesi var. Ona göre kalibre ettiğiniz zaman işlem normal olmuş oluyor. Yani aldığınız sonuç direkt.
Kalibrasyon olarak biz konuşmamıştık. Konuştuğumuz hani normalde cihazlarda bir referansa göre ölçüm yapılır. Hani aynı anda bunun o şekilde bir ölçüm yapılıp yapmadığını tartışıyoruz.
Yok,
Yanlış.
sanki şeyi öyle algıladım da onu.
Hayır,
Kusura
o
bakmayın.
değildi. O değildi. Yoksa ben biliyorum, cihazı da tanıyorum. Şey olarak, çalışma prensibini biliyorum.
Thank you. We all done now?